Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever feel a deep personal connection with something as vast and mysterious as the night sky? Well, this study dives into that very feeling and what it might tell us about ourselves. Have you ever looked up at the stars and felt a sense of peace, wonder, or even a deep personal bond? Scientists have a word for this special connection to the night sky, Noctcaelador. But does this feeling mean the same thing for everyone, or does it change depending on how we're doing emotionally? That is the fascinating question this research explores. So, what exactly is this Noctcaelador? Imagine a really strong personal bond with the night sky. It's not just liking it, but feeling it is important, engaging with it, and even feeling attached to it. Think of it like a special friendship with the cosmos. Scientists believe that for some people, this bond might even involve feelings of security and importance, kind of like what we experience in close human relationships. Now, previous research has shown that people who feel this connection with the night sky often report feeling less isolated, less stressed, and even find emotional healing. It's like the night sky offers comfort and a sense of relief. But here is where things get a bit mixed. Some studies found that this connection is linked to overall well-being, while others didn't see that strong link. This made the researchers wonder if the meaning and function of this night sky bond might be different for different people. They proposed that maybe the way we connect with the night sky, this Noctcaelador, isn't always the same. Perhaps for some, it is a way to cope, to find comfort, and to feel regulated when things are tough. They call this night sky comfort. The idea is that if you're feeling a bit down or struggling, the night sky might become a source of soothing and stability. This brought them to attachment theory. You know, how we form bonds with people, like feeling safe and secure with a parent or partner. The researchers wondered if our connection to the night sky could also play a role in our sense of security, especially if we have a strong sense of secure attachment in our lives. Secure attachment is basically feeling confident that you can rely on others and that you're safe and supported. It's like having a secure base to return to. So they had a hunch. They thought that maybe the way Noctcaelador relates to secure attachment isn't the same for everyone. It might depend on how well someone is doing psychologically overall. For people who are already feeling pretty good, their connection to the night sky might be more about aesthetic appreciation or just enjoying the view. But for those who are struggling, that connection might serve a deeper purpose, like providing comfort and a sense of security that's tied to their attachment style. To test this, they gathered 157 adults. They asked them to fill out questionnaires to measure their connection to the night sky, how much comfort they get from it, their level of secure attachment, and their overall well-being. Think of it like a psychological checkup for each person. They used a few key measures. First, the Noctcaelador inventory to see how strong their personal bond with the night sky was. Then, the night sky coping scale to understand how much comfort and relief they get from looking at the night sky. They also used the subscale from a well-known attachment scale to measure how securely attached they felt. Finally, they used a short version of the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire to gauge their overall subjective well-being. After collecting all this data, they used some fancy statistical tools to see how these things were related. They specifically looked to see if well-being changed the way that night sky comfort and Noctcaelador were linked to secure attachment. They used a method called moderated mediation analysis, which sounds complicated. But it essentially helps them understand if one thing like night sky comfort influences another, like secure attachment, through a third thing, like Noctcaelador. And if that connection changes depending on a fourth factor like well-being. So, what did they find? Well, it turns out their hunch was pretty spot on. They discovered that the relationship between your connection to the night sky and your sense of secure attachment actually does depend on your level of well-being. Here's the really interesting part. For people who reported lower levels of well-being, they found that feeling comforted by the night sky comfort was indirectly linked to having more secure attachment. This connection happened through their personal bond with the night sky Noctcaelador. So, for these individuals, feeling soothed by the night sky seemed to help build up their connection to it, which in turn contributed to their feelings of secure attachment. It is like the night sky was acting as a sort of anchor, but this indirect pathway wasn't found for people who were at moderate or high levels of well-being. For them, the direct relationship between night sky comfort and secure attachment was more prominent. This suggests that when you're already feeling good, the night sky might be more about enjoying its beauty or its contemplative aspect, rather than a tool for emotional regulation or attachment building. This is a pretty big deal because it helps explain why previous studies on the night sky and well-being have had mixed results. It seems the function of our connection to the night sky isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. For those who might be struggling, that bond with the night sky could be playing a really important role in providing comfort, stability, and a sense of security. Almost like a substitute secure base, it might be integrating with their broader psychological structures related to safety and regulation. On the other hand, for people who are doing well, Noctcaelador might reflect more about aesthetic appreciation, existential reflection, or fascination. It is still a meaningful bond, but it is serving a different psychological purpose. This research really highlights that our connection to nature, including the night sky, can be deeply personal and serve different needs depending on our internal state. Now, like all research, this study has some limitations. The biggest one is that it was a cross-sectional study, meaning they looked at data from one point in time. This doesn't let them say for sure that the night sky causes these changes in attachment or well-being. It is possible that people who already have secure attachment are more likely to find comfort in the night sky, or that there are other factors at play. Future studies could follow people over time to see how these bonds develop. Also, the measures for secure attachment and well-being were described as having only modest internal consistency in this sample. While they are considered adequate for exploratory research, using more in-depth measures in future studies could provide even richer insights. But despite these limitations, this study offers a really valuable perspective. It suggests that our relationship with the night sky is complex and can be a significant psychological resource, especially for those who may need it most. It opens up exciting avenues for future research, perhaps exploring how other nature connections might function similarly across different levels of well-being and how these bonds might develop over time. So, the next time you find yourself gazing up at the stars, remember that your connection to that vast expanse might be doing more for you than you think, and its meaning can be deeply personal. What are your thoughts on this research? Do you feel a special connection to the night sky? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more explorations into the fascinating world of psychology, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.